Hello and welcome to Bricks. I'm Adam and this is Bricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the relatively new Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech set. This is set number 71817. It has 253 pieces, and I paid $20 for this set. This is a set that I believe released on March 1st of 2024, which was a couple months after the other like J's and Sora's and Cole's mechs, but this one is compatible with those. So I did do a video that was looking at kind of different combinations of swapping kind of the legs and the arms and the torso and different things on some of those Ninjago mechs, and this one, as we can tell from the box, is compatible with those. So it's going to have a lot of the same things, but it's going to have some differences as well. So that's pretty cool. I was a fan of the kind of modularity of these things, and this one comes with some characters that weren't present in some of the other sets, so I was really excited for it. I thought the other ones are good value, hoping this one's good value too, so I decided to pick this up. So now in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I'll speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Ninjago Dragon Rising Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech set, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. So the first bag of pieces here, we build out the torso, and then in the next bag of pieces we have some minifigures distributed between there, and then we work on the legs here, which use two of those kind of fixed bend arm and leg pieces. I really liked how the feet were done on this one, and then we also add kind of this little helmet mask type thing to the mech, which I appreciate and I talk more about in the full review. Onto the last bag of pieces, we have another minifigure, then we build out the arms, which are the same and similar to the legs in some ways, using some similar pieces, and then they're just kind of mirrored from right to left, and then we add on the kind of mech accessories. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech. And this is pretty good. It's very similar to some of the other mechs, like the Cole, Sora, J mechs. It has some differences too. I'm not sure if I'm going to say they're improvements necessarily, but I am glad that this went a few different directions, so it didn't feel like every one of these, while they're like compatible with each other, are just kind of color swaps. So I do appreciate different piece usages. There are different color schemes, but a good amount of differences here that I think makes this a little more interesting of a project to try to kind of combine these with the other ones and mix and match the limbs and the waist and the torso and the accessories and everything else. Having them all be kind of unique in their own way is really, really helpful for that. So, and I understand that it's probably a bit complicated to have things that are compatible, that work within a given form that they've set up in a given like structure, in a given kind of system of modular pieces, and also make things unique and interesting and cool. It could be maybe analogous to like having modular buildings that you can take off of a floor and put on another floor, which you kind of can do, but like the floor plans, the floor layouts, the stairs to go between levels aren't going to really work, and there's a whole mess of other issues. And if they were to do something like that with the modular buildings, it would probably make them a lot less unique and a lot less interesting to kind of fit that thing. So walking that balance between having these and the other recent Ninjago mechs be compatible with each other, but also kind of being novel in their own way, I think is a challenge that was I think approached and accomplished rather well, all things considered. So we'll just get right into this here, and the first thing we'll look at is the minifigures like we normally do, and we have 3 of them in this set. The first one we'll look at is Lloyd. This is not, as far as I understand it, Master Lloyd. It doesn't look like Master Lloyd. It doesn't have the colors of a Ninjago or Spinjitzu Master, as far as I know. I'm not terribly familiar, but we do have Lloyd here with the green and gold, which is very nice. So we have the dual molded mask kind of piece with the headband and the mask. Beneath that we have the face printing for Lloyd, which has the eye black plus some extra little details. On the other side we just kind of have a stern face for Lloyd there. We have 2 of the gold kind of katana type accessories there. Looking at the torso, really good printing here, nice detail. I love all the gold trim, that's really nice. Lloyd's kind of emblem logo up there is nice, a little something up top, and all the stuff in here is very good, with some pretty fine lines, so I liked that a lot. Similar to a lot of the other Ninjago characters from this new wave of Dragon's Rising, but that's okay. We do have printing on the midsection for the little belt or the tie there around the waist, and we do have printing on the legs, so some up here, up at the top, in the middle a little bit, and down onto the feet. Looking at the back, we can see that we have kind of a similar design with like plate armor type thing. There's some gold writing up at the top, which is very nice, and overall pretty detailed. I like these Ninjago figures, and this one is as good as some of the other ones I've seen. No arm printing or anything like that, nothing on the side of the legs, but that's okay. I still think this is a pretty well produced and detailed figure, so that's really great. The next one we'll look at is another Ninjago character, I think Naya or Nia. It's N-Y-A. So we have this character. Again, we have a gold katana there. We have the dual molded kind of balaclava face mask and headwear, headband, and the hood, everything. Underneath that, we have Naya or Nia's kind of eye black with the extra kind of details around there. Looking on the back, we have a different expression for this character. This character does have kind of the thing around the minifigure neck that has a kind of a, I don't know what they would call them, a quiver, a holster for the accessory for the katana, so that can be slid in there. It also has kind of one of those shoulder pads there with kind of some extra molding inside, which is nice. I'll take that off. And then looking at the torso, very, very similar to Lloyd's in a lot of ways, but different colors. We do have the gold trim all throughout, similar stuff with the armor around the edges, the emblem up top. We do have printing on the midsection there, which is nice. It's asymmetrical, so it has the tie. Lloyd's was kind of in the middle, and for Naya or Nia here, it's kind of over to the one side more, which is nice. And then we do have printing on the feet, again, kind of, or on the legs and the feet, but the legs kind of up around the top portion, in the middle, kind of shin area, and down onto the feet. Nothing on the arms again. Looking at the back, we have the similar kind of armor design here with the gold trim, which is very nice, and again, some gold writing kind of up in the middle of the back area there. So those are the 2 Ninjago characters that come in this set, and they're both quite good, similar, but well done, so I appreciate that. And then we have another character. I was pretty excited about this one. I don't know what other sets this character's appeared in. I'm not sure if I have any of them, so I'm not sure if I've talked about this character on my channel. Part of me thinks that I have, part of me thinks that I haven't. So if you know, let me know in the comments. I appreciate that. So this is Cinder here, and I believe they're probably associated with Lord Raz and with the Wolf Mask clan of characters. They do have an accessory that's very similar there. We're using one of these big black kind of squiggly blade pieces, a small black barb or tooth or claw piece, the gunmetal gray kind of hilt there. And then looking at this character, we have a really unique face print with kind of a mask thing going all around the side. The eyes are really nice, really pronounced eyebrows there, which is cool to see. Pretty cool hair piece here. They also have kind of a scarf around the head there around the neck, so I'll take that off and then we can get a better look at this head, because it actually is kind of on a transparent minifigure head there, which is really nice. The production stuff is good. All the like silver around the edge is really nice. This character does have an alternate face, which I really appreciated. I don't know if I've seen this, and this has kind of the silver kind of over the mouth there, so more of a mask with just the eyes exposed, which feels similar to some of the Ninjago characters. You can kind of see the mouth underneath there, but that's pretty cool. So happy to get that. Looking at the torso, they do have the kind of wolf mask clan emblem in the center, but then kind of some unique printing here with good metallic printing on all these tiny details on the little trim there. There's some extra symbols kind of in the abdominal area there, some really fine details on this. Looking at the midsection, we do have kind of silver on either side, which is nice, but there is printing there. Looking at the legs, we do have a lot of printing on the legs, including some asymmetry here. So on one side of the leg we have other kind of symbols there following down this kind of abdominal section, and then on the other side we have a couple different symbols there too, so that's really well done. Some fine details, including some metallic silver printing on the edge of the legs, a good amount of printing in the middle, and a nice kind of claw looking printing on the feet there. So this is more detailed than either of the Ninjago characters. Looking at the back, we kind of get the armor here, but it's a little bit beat up with some nicks and scratches and different things, which are all done with kind of that metallic silver, which is very nice. Maybe some writing down here, and overall this is a really good figure. I think the alternate face is really good. I like the torso and the legs a lot. The printing on them is well produced. It doesn't feel like there's off colors or weird printing errors or anything like that, where printing light color over a dark color, sometimes the dark color comes through a little bit. It's a little transparent. These feel like the how opaque they are, the opacity is pretty well done. I like all the silver a lot, so this is a great minifigure. And then the rest of the set is this Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech. So I think Cole's was Elemental Earth, Sora's was Elemental Tech, and Kai's was Elemental Fire. I think that hopefully that's true, and I don't know if they've done one specifically. I don't think they've done one specifically for Zane, but Zane has appeared in some other sets. I think the Fire one, Jay's Mech, but here we have the Mech. So this has Cole's kind of colors here with the green, and then a lot of these mechs share some similarities with like black and gold and different things, so I really like that. And looking at the torso, that's the first thing you build. This is unique. I think it's better looking than a lot of the other torsos. There's some good shapes, good use of colored pieces. We do have kind of the Mech torso piece here in the middle that can be clipped on. We do have the Dragon's Rising dragon orb kind of tile there that's printed. We can open that up and we can see there's places to stud down the character in there. It doesn't use like the quote unquote a traditional like torso piece for the back either. So this is all like brick built or built with plates here with some different pieces, which is very nice. I like that a lot. I like these angles. I also really appreciated the kind of hood or mask or kind of helmet type piece here, which feels really cool. It looks great. It's got the like little horns there. The colors are really nice, and it's attached with just a couple droid arms here, so it can be moved and positioned a little differently. So it could be like really high up, and this is kind of open, It could also come forward, and it feels like it offers better protection than a lot of the other mechs, so that when Lloyd is in here, they feel a little more covered up, which is always a good kind of thing for them to include. So we can kind of get this over them, and at least maybe from the sides they're a little more protected. From the front it's just a narrower gap kind of here, and I think it looks really cool with them in there, so it seems like they could still see out of here, and also offering a little more protection. So I don't know if none of the other ones had something like this, and I appreciate that. It also makes kind of like opening and closing the kind of cockpit area of operation a little bit cooler, because these could like kind of move at the same time and open up, and I think that's really, really neat. It does use some of the same kind of stuff on the inside, but there's studs to stud it down. After you build the torso, you do build kind of the hips section. This does have waist or hip rotation there, which is really nice. It's built pretty similar, using a lot of the same pieces. It does have these kind of dual clips on either side, which is so we can store some of the Lloyd's katanas, which I appreciate. A mech or any vehicle having a space to connect or store the minifigure accessories, that's always appreciated, and so it's good to see that there. The next thing you build are the legs, and the legs are pretty similar. They're just mirror images of each other. They do have two of these kind of fixed bend mech joints there in kind of that green color, but I love how they did this kind of translucent green on the bend there, or kind of as like a highlight, a little bit of trim type stuff, which is really nice. I like the use of gold studs in here to break up just some of the blackness of all those pieces. We can move these legs a good amount, flare them out, lots of different stuff, which is good. And like I said, we can turn the waist area. It has the fixed knees, has kind of one of these bigger kind of shell or panel armor like pieces on either side. And then I thought this was really unique. This is one of the ways that it changes stuff. Instead of having the bigger kind of ball joint coming off the bottom or something like that, it has them coming off the back, and then you build up the feet. The feet are identical. Overall, really good shape. I like how wide they are, and so that's really, really nice, and they're long as well. We have some of that same kind of gold stud stuff in there for some extra detail, same at the gold ingots at the front, but we have the ball joint kind of behind the shin, and so the ankle is a little bit different. These have a limited range of motion. They can go kind of all the way up to the back of the leg there, back of the thigh. They can't go forward too far, so you'd have to move it forward up at the hip there, but that's still kind of cool. I think it makes this stance a little bit more unique, a little bit different, and also still very stable. And I would like to see these and how it affects like the overall height of the legs and the hip section when added to some of the other mechs here. One of the things I looked at was the different heights of the different legs in the last ones. Like I think overall Cole's Elemental Earth mech had the shortest legs. I think Kai's might have been the tallest, and then Sora's might have been in the middle, and this might be a new area there. It might be similar in height to some of the other ones, but there seems to be some difference in how these legs were done. I really like the feet of this, and this was kind of interesting. At first I thought it was going to be kind of weird, but then I ended up really liking it, so that's great. And then we can move up to the arms. The arms are done pretty much the same, but inverse of each other, so that is nice. We do have these nice kind of translucent green, I believe, kind of lightning bolts things there. I think one of the other ones had something like this too on the arms, so that's okay. We use those same kind of armor pieces up on the shoulder. They don't really come up over the ball joint at all, so that's pretty exposed, but that does allow for more range of motion there, so I do appreciate that. And then we have these same kind of gold studs there, similar pieces with these kind of pieces underneath that are on the inside of the thigh area. This one only uses one of those pre-bent, fixed bend kind of mech arms there, so you can see that. It does make them look a little bit thin at the elbow, but there is some bulk or a little bit more bulk up at the kind of shoulder and then down at the hand, wrist. There's no wrist kind of articulation here, but I like how the hand was done. We got a Nexonite shield on the back, some different colors like greens or browns, a darker color there. And then we have the fingers, 3 fingers here. They use these new Mech fingers in gold, but this one does have a thumb, which is really nice, which makes kind of holding these accessories feel a lot better. You can kind of get the one finger and the thumb to kind of connect, which is nice. The thumb can kind of be swiveled out. It can also be, bent up and down a little bit to open up the grip. So that's good. The accessory over here is kind of a smaller one-blade sword with kind of the Technic there to attach, and we can pop that out. So there's the Technic piece inside there to attach, potentially other characters' accessories, Mech accessories, or, mocked accessories or something. Other arm, very much the same, but reversed, and similar complaints, but similar good stuff with the thumb and everything. And then on this one, we have just kind of a bigger blade as the accessory. It has a little gold tassel on the bottom, an extra kind of length to the hilt, and then a longer, thicker, bigger blade here, and it attaches the same way, so you could easily swap this one over to a different hand or add these to one of the other characters' mechs and everything there. So that is pretty much everything here. If we think about the kind of range of motion of the arms, this one has kind of better range of motion than a lot of the other ones in some ways. It's not exactly limited by the shoulder as much. It still is a little bit. It can't like reach all the way across itself, but it can get, it can approximate it. And then if you add in the kind of hip kind of rotation, you can kind of get some nice sort of slashing kind of movement here, which is really good. And there's different stuff for that as far as like standing goes. You can spread out the feet a little bit. You might be able to get it into some cool running poses. I'm not positive because I didn't really try yet. I mean, it looks like you could. So let me see if I can figure out a way to do this. So we have the back leg pretty far back, but resting on the tip of the toe. I'll show this from the side. And then the other foot is kind of firmly planted there. And that feels relatively stable, all things considered. So I think that's pretty good. That's a nice pose for it to be in, I would say, overall. So that's really nice, and there's probably other ones that it could get into. So that's very good, and that's pretty much everything that's in this mech and in this set. I'll show the extra pieces because you do get some. Get an extra of all 3 of the pieces used to make Cinder's accessory there. So the hilt, the barb, and the bigger kind of squiggly piece. The droid arm here, a Technic pin, a gold stud, a light bluish gray tile, and an extra katana there. So those are all your extra pieces. And this set is 253 pieces, retails for $20. 3 minifigures, all have midsection printing, leg printing, alternate faces, which is really, really good. I think the printing on Cinder is excellent, and the Ninjago characters of Lloyd and Naya are really, really good as well. And then looking at price per piece, this feels pretty good, actually, in comparison to some of the other mechs that I've mentioned repeatedly. Cole's Elemental Earth, Sora's Elemental Tech, and Kai's Elemental Fire. This feels comparable to those. I felt like those were all pretty good value, in the around 250 pieces for $20 plus 3 minifigures, so that's really nice. And they feel like, to me, better value than the Marvel or Star Wars mechs. They're bigger mechs, bigger builds, also more minifigures, but it's Lego's own internal intellectual property, so they don't have the licensing things, and it's almost a different scale, a different form factor from those. If I was to have a Marvel mech right next to this, I feel like it would feel a fair bit smaller. And so with only the $5 difference, potentially $5 could be one minifigure. A lot of those Marvel and Star Wars mechs come with only one minifigure. This one has 3. And yeah, this one's bigger and bulkier and probably has more kind of articulation and different stuff. So I think this is actually a really good value. You know, thinking about the value for all of these mechs, these new Ninjago Dragon Rising mechs for 2024, I think, you know, they're all pretty good. The Kai one came with the Wolf Mask mech, which is kind of a smaller side build, so that one was $30, but the other two were $20. And I feel like they're all pretty fair value. They don't feel like insane good value, like, wow, I can't believe this is where they priced this, but they don't seem like, you know, too expensive really at all, which in 2024 Lego pricing scheme feels pretty good. You know, I'm glad these aren't going the way, at least not yet. It doesn't appear that these are going to go the way of Speed Champions, and this $20 set will be a $25 or $27 set in the future. I think in a lot of ways Lego probably could have put this at $25 and it would have made sense. 250 pieces, 253 pieces, and 3 characters, but $20 feels really great for impulse buys. It feels really attainable to be able to get, you know, all 3 or all 4 of these sets at this price point, to be able to mix and match the different appendages, the arms, the legs, the hips, the torso, the different things like that. It feels more attainable, more available for people of different means. So I'm glad it's not behind a more prohibitive kind of price point, because right now you could get all 3 of these sets for less, or all 4 of these new Ninjago mechs for less than $100. You know, it'd be $60 for all 3 of the $20 ones and $30 more for the combined one. And you get a lot of play potential. You get a lot of build experience things between, you know, the play of just what's in there in the box in their own respective configurations, but then also all the combinations you can have and change and swap out, I think adds a lot to the value to this. So I'm very happy with this, and so that's really great. I like it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Ninjago, but then tons of other sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss it. It helps me a lot. I appreciate it. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I would love to get there, and I appreciate all the help. It means a lot to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to support this channel in another way, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And again, that helps me a lot, so I appreciate it. Maybe consider checking those things out. Means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.